Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning. Another blessed day. Regardless, good, bad, or indifferent, every day the Lord Father give you is a blessed day. Because He gave you and He had to give you. So take a second out today and show some gratitude. Give the Lord Father thanks for this day. And give Him thanks for your brothers and sisters in Trinidad and all over the world. Where to start, I don't know. But let me get into it, eh? But first, I want to thank all you for watching. I appreciate it. And thank you for subscribing and leaving messages. I think I try to read all. Promise you I try to read all, and I try to respond to as many as I can. With the phone I have, sometimes they go work, sometimes they go work. It's like Miss New Sari. Sometimes they go work and other times they take a work at all. So I do my best. Like we say, we go make do, and we make and do, partner. We make and do. We go make it work. So I thank all you. And hit the notification button and things, so when I leave a new video, all you will know. So let me get into brass tacks. Now the lying, hiding Prime Minister, Miss Nusari herself, Miss Maybelline, come out and tell Trinidadians, there's nothing to worry about. We have the situation under control. There's nothing to worry about. She tell all you, nah, I'm not going to do nothing. Nah. It's just a training exercise. Now, here's what I want to warn all you about. And pay attention. I tell all you about Nigeria. I mentioned that yesterday, Well, after I put a video up there, so not long after, the United States threatened Nigeria. Nigeria come out and say, all right, we'll deal with the situation. We don't want any problems. Okay. Donald Trump turned around and tell them, no. They're going and bomb Nigeria. They send in F-35s, F-15s, and all kind of things. They're going and bomb up Nigeria. I'll tell you that. Now they're talking about Sudan too. I tell all you, Africa has certain minerals and things that they want. Sudan is no different. I tell you that. They just reoccupy the base in Puerto Rico. Or for people listening from Latin American Spanish companies, Puerto Rico. They just take it over. And they're restocking the munitions base and building a new one. They also putting them in civilian airports. Civilian airports. Why would you do that? Because as far as I know, or I am aware, when stuff like that happens, that is usually a target. That becomes a military target. So why put in any civilian installation, period? But nonetheless, they're doing it. They are also back in St. Croix and the U.S. Virgin Islands on the base. Guess what coming next? Take a wild guess. I know all you're smarter than Miss New Sari, Miss Maybelline, Miss $500,000 roti. I know all you're smarter than she. So guess what's going to happen next? The same base we throw America out of and tell them get out, they coming right back. Sparrow say the Yankee gone. Well, our next Calypso will come out just now, and next week will come out. They go say the Yankee back. They're gonna take it over. Now, if the United States could launch an attack on Venezuela from Puerto Rico, which is about 500 miles away, then what the ass they need to be in Trinidad for? Why? There's no reason to be there. Unless they have an interest, and I break it down for all you. I tell all you when it comes to minerals and resources, I give all you a list of the top 4 or 5, I tell all you. And Trinidad was on the list. They must have what we have. They need it. And they come out and say it plainly. All the stuff that we have and these other countries have are vital for the expansion of technology into the 21st century. Everything going and get run by AI. And in order to operate AI, you need data centers. And you cannot build those data centers without the natural resources. And they're using every excuse in the book to go to war with these countries, to seize their resources under the guise of drugs, terrorism, and persecution. Trump go into Nigeria to help the Christians, as he should. The number 1 persecuted religion on the planet is Christianity, bar none. I don't care what you believe, no, stats don't lie, numbers don't lie. Go and look it up yourself. Bar none. 500,000 Christians get killed in Africa last year. 500,000. Last year. Go and look what happening in South Africa. They have a highway in South Africa, right down the whole highway for miles and miles and miles and miles. It just crosses, you know. White Christian South Africans they murder. That's just South Africa. Look at all the Middle East and thing. You forget, you think all them countries that they considered Muslim now was always Islamic? They were Christian. Lebanon was majority Christian. What happened there? Iran was majority Christian. They had the native population, they had Zoroastrianism and all kind of other things, but majority Christians and Jews. Look what happened there. All through the Middle East, you know. Look what's going on in America now. Look at Michigan. Michigan was predominantly Polish. Now look what happened to Michigan. 5 times a day, all through Michigan, they call to pray. And they just stopped 5 terrorists from committing, what do you call it, these murders. They was going to commit mass murder in the country. And where they was from? Michigan. While them pointed the finger at all you, I tell all you, them yard nasty, but them want to tell all you to clean up all your yard. War with Venezuela is imminent. And here's the part that Miss Kamala is not informing Trinbagonians of. Yes, war is bad and plenty people got dead. But even the former, I think chief of police or something come out and say, the people they have leading the military are not fit. They don't have the qualifications, experience to handle it. The military is ill prepared. Can't do nothing about that. All night, sir. Hold on. Sorry about that, I know my car as the fella across there, so mother ass with a blasted thing all kiss me ass night there, so good. Man, I cussed yesterday, but anyway. They're ill prepared. They don't have proper training. How can you expect proper training from a country that is not a warring country? Trinidad never see war. We are not a warring country. The Caribbean is a no-war zone. But now Miss Kamala open she mouth and she want war. She had to open she mouth and say kill them violently, and now she's being investigated by the ICC. Mother ass with a cowboy. Partner, I want to go douse that blasted Hilux with some friggin' gasoline and burn it down, Mother ass. Well, good, but you fat on that car, I go off. All blasted night, all blasted morning. Anyway, Miss Kamala want to go to war. Open she mouth and say, kill them violently. Now she being investigated by the ICC, the International Criminal Court. Not the International Cricket Council, International Criminal Court. She and Munilal and others, them are telling all you about. They are being investigated because they commit a war crime. Crimes against humanity. The same thing them hold the president of Philippines for. Because he was arresting all them gang members and thing and putting them in jail and killing them and thing. Sorry about that, I had to go and cuss him up. Fed up with that shit, all blasted night, all blasted day. To go cuss you up there, so I was trying not to cuss, But anyway, the same very thing them arrest the president of Philippines for. I think he was Duarte or something like that. They try him. 27 years in jail. For the very same thing that Miss Kamala opened she mouth and started to say. You allow 64 people to get murdered in we water without due process. I told you you were complicit. And now you are being investigated for that very same thing I say. Very same thing. And now you know America coming to take over the base in Trinidad. That is next. Yes, I would, but I promise you that is next. Why? Here is why. Because the Trinidadian military is ill prepared. It's not a military. is a bunch of man and woman wearing camouflage pretending to be military. And it's their fault. They did not get proper training. They do have proper training. They don't even have proper equipment. That come out. They don't have equipment. Coast Guard, they have boat. They have nothing. What they going and fight with cutlass? They have nothing. But you want to go to war. Now tell them about the humanitarian crisis that will be facing Trinidad and Tobago. Tell them what's going to happen when that war starts. And thousands of Venezuelans start leaving Venezuela and heading straight to Trinidad. There's nowhere else for them to go. Everything will come crashing down. The healthcare system, the financial system, aid, food, everything. Where are they supposed to go? Or you going to allow Mr. Trump and them both to blow up man, woman, and children in water now? You go allow them to kill all them children and all them women and thing, leaving the country, fleeing war, because make no mistake, madam, they dealing with a war. And me like Maduro, he is a blasted madman. He killing his own people there. So you feel he care about all you? You feel he care? You feel he opposed to come in to Trinidad? I have people in Trinidad there that start a Black Swan event in Trinidad. Or maybe another country, may I say, will conduct a Black Swan event in Trinidad to justify actions in Venezuela. That is what military officials are warning about. A Black Swan event. That is why America shut down the embassy. Madam, everywhere a war was about to take place with America, the first thing they do is shut down the embassy and close it down and take the people out. They start to ship the people out of the country. But you, mama guy in Trinidad, and tell them nothing happening. Nothing to fear. Miss Maybelline, Miss New Sari is here. You want your $500,000 roti. What you gonna do? Hand every soldier a roti and a cutlass and say, go. And you damn well know the next thing you're going to do. You will be forced to do, madam, because you don't have the military. And you're already talking about recruitment drive. Recruitment drive, which was turned into conscription. Mark my word. You are willing to send Trinidadians to the death for a lie that this is about drugs and not about the largest oil reserve on the planet. Because cocaine licking up the people in America is cocaine, madam. Is cocaine. He said it was fentanyl. Not 1 gram of fentanyl is produced in Venezuela. Not one. Now it come out. Not only Russia ship military aid, which means weapons, to Venezuela, but China also. I told you China would get involved. And how much of all your computer system, the chip in it come from China. Water, electricity, sewage, all these things are controlled by computer systems with Chinese computer chip. They could press a button and shut it down. What would you do then? America lying and using every excuse to conduct wars around the planet to seize resources. If you want to fix your country, fix your country. That is your right. That is your duty. Do that. But do not impoverish other nations for your country's benefit. Because everywhere America go, they take what they want, they mash up the country, and then they're gone. They do it in Vietnam. They tell them Vietnamese and them, we come in to help you. And what they do in Vietnam? They leave them. They went to Afghanistan and tell them the same thing. What they do there? Funny, Afghanistan have lithium too. They take what they want and they leave them. They went to Libya, Gaddafi. They didn't tell all you they seized the oil in Libya. Didn't say that. And then they leave them. They went to Syria, same thing. And they leave them. All over the world is the same thing they do. They go in, they thief, they take what they want, they make sure that they have full control of it, and then they leave them there. So what will happen, madam, after the United States destroys Trinidad and Tobago, controls all of our resources, and then decides to leave? Do we have the option of falling and leaning on our brothers and sisters in the rest of the Caribbean? No, madam, because you want to pull out a CARICOM. You is big woman. Miss Maybelline, Miss New Sari, Miss $500,000 roti. Miss hiding Prime Minister. Now I know why you're hiding, because they come in looking for your ass. What will you do when thousands upon thousands of Venezuelans start coming across to Trinidad because of this humanitarian crisis? What will you do? What will you do when America tells Trinidad, time to put boots on the ground? What will you do, madam? And make no mistake, you know that coming because you have already been briefed. But you're lying and showing off your new cell phone. You are not giving Trinidadians and Tobagonians an opportunity to prepare for the worst situation in Trinidad and Tobago history, madam. You are not giving them an opportunity. What will happen to Trinbagonians? What will happen to them poor Venezuelans? Not all Trinidadian is criminal, you know. And not all Venezuelan is criminal. Them catching us trying to get by day, just like the rest of we. But you don't care. Their life means nothing to you, nor Mr. Trump. I have no respect for no government that does not put the interests of their people first. That is why you are there. You are a public servant. You are there to serve the public, not serve your own blasted interests and the interest of foreign nations above your own citizens. Let me rephrase. Not your citizens, your brothers and sisters of your country. You are not there to become wealthy. You get a damn good paycheck to do a job that you do not do. You letting all of them go because it's raining. But that man and woman out there working hard. Come rain or shine, them working. But you need to leave because it's raining. And now it come out. China send weapon there, sir. China sending things over there, sir. And all they want to point the finger at Venezuela. Well, Venezuela started. Venezuela say we have terrorists. They're lying. They have terrorists in America. You feel they have them in Trinidad? You feel so? You that kuyo? You that blasted dotish? That hurt your feelings? You that suffered? You could talk a big game when it come to UE. You could talk a big game with everything else. Madam, don't test me. We will find the money. Watch and see. The banker watch and see. I want to see that bank. I want to get a loan from that bank. The banker watch and see. I need a loan. Because me and her running water and taking my house, I need a loan. You could talk. When the camera on your ass, you could talk. But otherwise your mouth quiet. You go and open your mouth and talk and fet and thing. But madam, you were doing one thing to help the country. Why hasn't there been diplomatic talks with Venezuela? Why? Why have you allowed America to pack up their warship and thing in we water when they could easily get there from Puerto Rico, which is a part of the U.S. territory, along with the U.S. Virgin Islands? They don't need to be in Trinidad. But they're there for two things. Maybe 3 or 4. But mainly 2. Oil, asphalt. And after they're done with Venezuela, they go into Colombia. And Colombia is shipping military aid and personnel to Venezuela. And other countries will follow. In Latin America, a lot of countries will follow. Madam, you do not have the fondest idea. You are either completely ignorant or you purposely are trying to create a disastrous situation for Trinidad and Tobago, which will cost lives, not just of Trinbagonians, but of Venezuelans. It is, you don't care because it ain't yours. Yours good. You took up in big house. Private security, all station in your yard, air conditioning and thing. Police escort to the airport and back. And when things start to happen, you go get your police escort to escort you to a private plane and you and yours take off and go to Miami. And leave Trinidadians and Tobagonians to deal with it. You don't care. If Russia and China involved with Venezuela, and Madam, China has an embassy in Trinidad and Tobago, 39 Alexander Street, Madam. And every Venezuelan 18 to 60 have to serve a year and a half in the military. And there's over 100,000 Venezuelans in Trinidad. Half of them is more than the military in Trinidad and Tobago. Half. And them have more experience than all the military in Trinidad and Tobago combined. How hard do you think it will be for China to get weapons into Trinidad and Tobago to give to the Venezuelan military? But you don't think about that. You don't care that you are not giving Trinidadians and Tobagonians time to prepare for what is inevitable. They don't have food. They don't have medicine. And you starting a war. Because you frightened to hurt Mr. Trump's feelings. The same man that don't care what's going on in his country right now, 40 million of them have no food. He don't care. He want to point the finger at everybody else. They say, man, clean up your yard, it's nasty, and them yard nastier than all your own. But them pointing finger. Them pointing finger at every other country in the world. But look at the nastiness going on in their own country. The same lie them feed Venezuela to turn the Venezuelan people to socialism, madam. It's the same lie and nastiness your government and the PNM was feeding the people. No difference. You could change the packaging. It's the same garbage on the inside, you know. And you are going to get them young man and woman in the military that you tell all of them must respond to the base. And that was why America was there to train them and prepare them for war. It was not a training exercise or they there to upgrade technology. They were there to train them and prepare them for war. And you know a Black Swan event coming. You know it. Either in Trinidad and Tobago or in Venezuela. And once it happens, it had no turning back, you know. So all you, for all you listening, I keep praying to all you, make sure all you have. Do not listen. They are lying. They feeding all you a lie. And if you question, they will say use a conspiracy theorist. It's propaganda, you don't know. And then when it happened, their mouth shut up. Everybody forget. Everybody forget. Just like everybody forget about the Epstein file and all them things. They forget. Be aware. And if you are Venezuelan in Trinidad, please be aware of your surroundings. Because unfortunately, them nasty government casting you in the same boat with Maduro, even though you are doing nothing. And some dotish Trinidadians who will follow she will blame you, and you are do nothing. Remember, all are we is family. Trinidad was once attached to Venezuela. That is where the Amerindians come from. Latin America, the Latin people started at the border of El Salvador and Guatemala. And when there was a massive earthquake and multiple volcanic explosions, they had to flee. And they split and they populate the rest of Latin America. And that is where the Amerindians in Trinidad and Tobago came from Latin America. Trinidad known for pepper. Where you think the pepper come from? Latin America. And we take that and make everything else you have now. It came from there. We are all the same people. So when them suffering, we go suffer too. So don't look at every Venezuelan you see and them is terrorists and criminal and drug dealer. That is not the case. That's like every Trinidadian you see. Not every Trinidadian is a criminal or a gang member. Remember that. Do not judge unfairly. But be aware. Because what they're trying to do is start an internal division. They try to turn all against each other. Indian against Negro, and then against the white man, and Amerindian, and Chinese. That is what they try to do. Tell all you're different. They feed all you a lie. And this one worse, and that one worse, and this one better, and that one suffer more, and this one suffer more. It's all a lie. And now they go in and turn all you against them Venezuelan and them. And if you had to live in Venezuela under what they had to live under, you would flee too. Don't just take what they tell you as gospel truth, because they're lying. Look out for each other. All are we, brother and sister. All are we. God make all are we. All are we, brother and sister. It has no blasted difference. That is a lie. That is socialism. That is Marxism. That is communism. That is the heart of it. Create a divide. As I always say, together we aspire, together we achieve, but divided, all are we go fall together. Prepare. Make sure you have. Expect disruptions in gas and food, medicine, and utilities, especially internet and cell phone. Expect it. Make sure you have candle and all them thing. You have flambeau, you have candle, you have kerosene. Make sure you have. Because when it happens, you can't go and get, you know. So make sure. Make sure. Anyway, like I always say, and I will continue to say it every video, I love all of you. all you from the bottom of my heart. I love all you too bad, eh? All of we is one people, all of we is one family, and it's one Caribbean. That had no difference. All of we is the same. Latin America, the Caribbean, all of we is one people, partner. Because we all come from the same place, and God make all of we. That make all of we brother and sister. And I love my family too bad. Around the world, they divide we enough. We ain't gonna let them let all of we fall together. Because if we continue to divide ourselves, we will fall together. And they will take everything. Look after your brother and sister. Don't matter the color of their skin, and don't matter how they live. No matter if they wayward. Love your brother and sister as you love yourself. So, in closing, God bless all you. God guide all you. God keep all you safe. And God grant you strength and compassion. And if it's His will, He will bring back we sweet islands. He will fix it. He will bring it back stronger and better than before. God grant strength and safety to them people in Venezuela. They're going to need it. Pray for them. Pray for them. All of we go feel, boy. All of we. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hit the notification button there so when I go on and leave a video, all you go get. And remember, love your brother and sister as you love yourself. Love your brother and sister. Take it easy, Jed.